Welcome guys, today we're in the magical land of Wiltshire. It's the home of the White Horse and it's my home county. Let's go and take a look. It's kind of sacred ground here, because right here, and I'll show you in a second, there's a spring and you can actually see the water bubbling up through the earth. So it's coming directly down from somewhere under the ground up onto the surface and then pushing this body of water down, and it meets other streams around the area. So I'll give you a closer look anyway. Just be able to make out in the centre there's like a bubbling kind of mass. That's basically silt from below the surface coming up. And the other day, there's some bubbles there. The other day there was lots of areas where that was happening, but it's less active today for some reason. Now this is beautiful water, and I've drank from this stream before, from this spring, and I could happily live right here and drink this water all day. But I just wanted to show you that before we head into the hills. There's two churches nearby, and they seem to have inscriptions on the walls and bits and pieces about the stream and the connection to the hill. It's a little bit like Glastonbury with the spring there and the hill. But yeah, it's a really gorgeous place, and there's an ancient sarsen stone here that people come apparently from all over the world to see. So it's quite a nice area just around here. But anyway, right, onwards and upwards. Cheers guys. As you guys will know, or anyone who's been following me, I haven't made a video in 1 year. That's partly because over a year ago I started my own business, and this last year has been very busy. And I also found I wasn't particularly happy with the technology that I was using to make those videos, which essentially was just my phone and the cameras and settings on that. So I've upgraded, and now I'm using a proper action camera, fully stabilised and in 4K. So really looking forward to seeing what the results are of that. I've been playing around with it for the last few days, and it does seem to be doing the job pretty well. So right behind me is one of the White Horses, one of many, about 13 or 14 in the area around Wiltshire. And they were put there apparently for the Queen's Jubilee, one of her jubilees. And they're spread across the hills, along the Ridgeway, and different areas around here. Nothing here is particularly high. In fact, the highest point is just up behind us. Just lots of open, rolling hills around, and a lot of fun camping really. There is a bit of everything here. It's a good place for testing gear out, just in general before you go up to higher altitudes, etc. So this is a very special spot along here. All the hills here folding in on each other. I really love this area. It's a great view from the top, which I'm heading towards anyway. So this is a very, very beautiful specimen actually. Really, really nice. And they only last for a few days, and if you're not out at the right time, you tend to miss that particular breed or colour. I finally made it to the top of Adam's Grave, which is a long barrow sitting on top of Walker's Hill. Legend has it that there is a giant buried underneath this long barrow, and it's quite an impressive size, so it wouldn't surprise me. But this whole area around here, and I'll show you some photos, is peppered with earthworks and stones and markings all over. There's been forts here. It's a very interesting area. So, but yeah, this is at 1,000 feet above sea level. I'm just about to start my second leg of this walk, which is up another set of hills right behind me there, and then on to a particular hill where I've camped before with a mate of mine, and that's where I'm going to have lunch. I've not got a clue where they're going or what they're running down there for. There's some beautiful views up here, but the clouds have come in and it's turned into from what I thought was going to be a really sunny day into a slightly breezy, cloudy day. But that is definitely not going to dishearten me at all. Now that I'm self-employed, my business has taken off. It's surprising what a struggle it is to find time to do stuff like this. I think I'm singing the same tune that I was in my last video when I went to Penny Van. But it is so beautiful to get out. For me, that's well, what walking, hiking, being outdoors in general is about, but also what camping is about for me. Just having prolonged times outdoors, in nature, with everything you need. Once you've been out doing that for a whole night, a day and a night maybe, you start to wonder why you need all those things back home in the first place, especially if you're by a lake somewhere. I think all you need to be able to do is find your own food. If you could do that, you could be pretty much free living outdoors. Right, well I've just arrived at Warner Camp. Beautiful view there. It's not too windy up here either. I was trying not to disturb these two sheep over here, like a mother and a lamb, just relaxing, but they've obviously been spooked by me anyway. But yeah, great views over here of the Pewsey Vale too, and just an all-round good spot here. So I'm just getting what I need out of my pack. The first thing I'm going to do is set up my shelter. And what I'm using is the DD extra large tarp tent. So I'm just taking a wander now, just looking at this gorgeous view over here of the hills. Really stunning. Hope you're picking that up. A couple of runners just run past, which just reminded me that I need to go home later and run a 5k. So hopefully I've stored some energy for that. But what a gorgeous spot here. Again, it's not the Lake District, but I love it anyway. It's a great place to live. And Wiltshire is one of these strange places where it's just covered in stone circles. You've got Stonehenge, Avebury Stone Circle. I want to do a stealth camp at Avebury actually. So I've just put another layer on because it is starting to get chilly and I've stopped walking. So there is a wind out here, and I think this area, or Britain, is experiencing a bit of a low in temperature for this time of year. But I'm just about to get my heel and ox chair out, and then I'm going to make some lunch. So I'll catch you in a minute. I'm pretty pretty much exclusively plant-based now, give or take a little bit of fish occasionally. So when I come camping I use a lot of rice packs. I don't get on with dried or freeze-dried packs that much. So I try and keep my food as real as possible, and that way I kind of know what I'm getting out of it as well. I've made the mistake quite often of not going out with enough food, and if you're hiking in the hills or you're physically active, doing bushcraft, lighting fires, collecting wood, you've got to be hitting that 2,000 calorie mark, or else you're just going to get fatigued by the end of the day. I've just been sat here looking at the view, appreciating the beauty around me, and it's just got me thinking about something that's been cropping up in my mind recently, which is about appreciating what we have, like right now. And there's a big part of me that would like to be up in the mountains right now, don't get me wrong. I think there's a pull to always want to go to higher places, find the tallest peak. You know, I think I found last time I was in the Lake District, it seemed like there were loads of people up on Scafell Pike, but then other peaks we walked, there were very few people around. Just going and trying to basically do the highest peak in an area and then forget the rest, it seems like a bit of a waste to me. If you can't appreciate what's around you right now, then I'm not sure that you're necessarily going to appreciate what's around you when you do go to the places that you really want to be. And I think if you're always feeling like the grass is always greener, then it doesn't matter what you get or where you go, you'll always be looking for the next thing, and not actually be experiencing the moment that you're in at that time. And I'm not preaching here, I'm probably the worst person for doing that myself, not living in the moment, but I have to keep bringing myself back into the moment. There's a book called Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, and it's written by a Buddhist monk from Japan. He's dead now, long dead. But in there he says, sitting in the corner of a garden should be enough. In the modern day world, we are drawn away from our centre, if you like, from the moment that we're living in, towards, you know, materialistic stuff and whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm talking to you through a camera, surrounded by camping gear. But having that stuff, it isn't what's wrong. You know, it's when you're trying to fill a void that's unfillable. That's the mistake. Sitting here, I'm just remembering that I need to appreciate the moment as it is. The sun isn't shining, it's slightly cloudy. I'm not up a beautiful mountain, the views aren't super amazing. But there is beauty there to be experienced all the same. So. Well guys, I've just had a nice kip, listening to the wind rustling through the trees. I'm feeling the earth beneath me. Didn't really sleep, but it's just good to get connected, you know, and just have a rest. So, but it's come to that time. I've got to pack up the tent and all the gear. I know you can't be bothered to watch me do it, and I can't be bothered to watch me do it, and I'm a sucker for time lapse, so we're going to hit this with some of that, and I'll catch you in a minute. Right guys, that's me all packed up. Leave no disgrace as always. Pick up everything you need and I'm heading off. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video, but I'm really intending to take my new technology out to some interesting places and try and capture the essence of nature and the beauty of it as well as I can with what I have. For you to enjoy and for me, and that's really what I want this channel to be about, as I'm sure lots of people that do this do as well. I don't really want it to be about me, although it's always going to be, I'm always going to be here, someone's got to hold the camera, right? But I want it to be about you and about this, essentially. And if I can portray a small amount of what I feel about nature, the environment and the beauty that I see around me in my videos, then I'll be a happy man. And I get that there's people out there who for whatever reason can't get out, whether it's some sort of disability. It's the middle of winter, damn I know that one, you know, it's like cabin fever, that's a hard one to handle 4 months into the winter. But it's also good, and I know that I've benefited from it, watching videos where people have brought nature to me, and that's what I'm hoping to do for you guys as well. So I really hope that you will tune back into this channel and come on some future journeys with me, and I will do my best to do justice to the environment in which I am filming within, shall we say. I'm nearly home now, or back to the car, and I've just got to go through these hills behind me and back down. So I think I'm going to leave you guys to it now, and I'll catch you next time for another episode.